Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to some more Warpforge. And yes, today we are going to talk about Commissar Denkler, who I got to reveal, which was very exciting at the time. And as I said in my Ursula Creed video, I've really been struggling to find a build that feels at all competitive with what the basically the best deck is doing for the Imperial Guard. But I really like Commissar Denkler's ability. I feel like there's more to explore there, and so I have been testing decks, and all last night I was kind of just hanging out and laddering with Denkler in particular, because I think everyone's sick of Ursula, and I understand why. um, and so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to call this bad deck, we're going to test it, and then we're going to figure it out. But honestly, I was climbing last night. Aside from this loss, 38-point loss that got me at the end of my run last night, climbed like roughly 100-ish, maybe a little bit more points against real players, and felt like the matchups were, pretty decent, kind of just feeling out the deck and what its strengths can be. So before I get too far ahead of myself, thanks for the support on the channel. We're so close to 800 subscribers, trying to hit 1,000 by the end of the year, and we're going to be doing something big, a really cool streaming event when we approach that or get across that finish line. So if you're new here, feel free to subscribe if you're liking the content, and if you've been kind of lurking around and hanging out, I would very much appreciate it, because I'd love to bring some more fun stuff for the community. And to be fair, I haven't been making a ton of videos, so we're really trying to get back into the swing of things, especially this weekend. I've got a bit of time on my hands. So let's talk about this bad deck, I guess. So, I think there are a lot of ways you can build Denkler. I don't know what the best build is, but I prefer this kind of playstyle. The more I've played around some of the early value infantry, the more and more I like it, because yes, they can get cleared. Yes, it's not that easy, for you to like snowball in the beginning against some warlords or some particular matchups. But if you do, it is just what makes this faction strong. And I think what Denkler offers is the ability to make these judgment calls of like, okay, and I find that my openers is putting down some sort of early game troop. If I have timely reinforcements and I'm going second, plopping that down, giving it an extra 2 health, right? So it's a 5 health Vanguard unit. And unless I'm running into chaos for the most part, then I'm able to basically build up my board, protect things like Cadian Medic, like Ratling, to just give me, all of this incidental value. And even things like Kasrkin, I've been playing with a little bit more, and I think I was a little down on this card, and I've definitely come up on it. I think there is just good value on this. The fact that this does hit a Warlord instead of Ratling, which only hits unit, can be really nice. You can get this really good early chip damage. And the other motivation, I think, for playing this style of deck was when I got Minka Lesk. This card is so good, everybody. I'm sure you're not surprised, but the fact that it's a 3-drop that gives a cost discount to all infantry troops is nuts, right? We think about things like Anshi for the Tau, although it's all troops, not just infantry for him. You get that at 6 energy, right? Or maybe you can cheat it out with, dispensation. But Minka is just really good. Honestly, there were a couple boards I was able to set up where I could just go in and, set up a little bit of defense and then use Cadian Honor to get some nice little buffs. Then maybe, drop down a medic to start healing things up. And this card has, never stopped impressing me. And I've just really, really liked how things have flowed. I think you can approach it 2 ways. You can say, this is a warlord that offers a lot of value in the talent, and I'm going to go tall and maybe play more vehicles and kind of play a slower game, not try to be the aggressor. And I think that's fine. I think that's what a lot of other folks have done for building. But I really wanted to see if it's possible to build more of a Warshaper-like build for Denkler. And I think it's really about knowing how to make certain plays. So I guess before I get carried away, let's just talk about some of the choices we're making. I think everyone's running Vanquisher. Nothing really to say about that card. Medic and Ratling, I think, are run in a lot of other builds too. They're just really good early value, well-statted troops. Recon Operation. I have liked one of this in this build. You do need some card draw. That's often what you're going to use it for. And then in certain edge cases, it becomes that tech card that's really great for you. And one has felt right. Now let's talk about something else. Vox Operator. But Tim, I thought this was an infantry deck. Yes. He is an infantry himself, but he enables the vehicles that I think play best with the infantry, and that's why I'm running him. And so far, I've really liked it. Flamer Troop, I was also a little bit down on this card, but then I started running it as a 1 of and then upped it to a 2 of. And yes, are its stats good? No. But if you set up that start, right, where I go 5 health Vanguard unit into Flame Trooper, give it flank, use its duty ability, then next turn, right, if they can't get to it, re-up the duty ability, use it again. Like, you can get these loops of value going with Flamer Trooper. And one of the things that I think everyone knows that Imperial Guard don't do a good job of dealing with is boards that go wide, right? Like, of course, you've got the 9-drop, blow up the world nuke, but we're not able to do that in the early game. So I actually think Flamer Troop does well. Kasrkin kind of plays a similar role, allows you to pick up small things. You get incidental card value, which card advantage rather. That's really good for Denkler because you don't have a ton of card advantage inherently. So I think that really makes sense. Minka, obviously good. Ogryn, just generically good. It's going to take 2 hits for the most part, or protect things that matter. One summary of execution. This has just felt good in Ursula as a 1 of. It feels good in this deck as a 1 of. I decided to shave 1 Attilan Rough Rider. Although this card is excellent, there are certain board states, and with the way that we snowball the early game, where this doesn't always get its full value, and I just found myself wanting space for other cards. So far, I feel like that's been fine. Cadian Standard Bearer, it's a great card. Put it in every Imperial Guard deck. That's all I have to say about that. Scout Sentinel. Again, I feel like this serves a similar purpose as it does to my Ursula build, where it's a vehicle that can benefit from Vox Operator. Not that that's something you're specifically looking to set up. It's going to take multiple hits. It's going to potentially draw you cards, right? Even camo can sometimes, mess up your opponent. You stick that between certain units in your Warlord. Maybe the AoE doesn't hit you as well. I think it's really like, I want more card advantage in this deck, and this kind of serves, a dual purpose, and that's felt pretty good. And then we are running the favorite combination that Slither put me onto, Bombast Field Gun, of course, with Vox Operator. And I just think that even if you're looking at this deck and you're like, why would I want to set this up? Like, it's coming out on, maybe 6 energy, 7 energy most of the time. Is that good enough? I'm telling you it is, because whether you're flanking this in and long ranging something down with 5, your 5 ranged attack, which is usually good enough to kill a lot of things, or you're able to use the duty if you're, on par or ahead of your opponent, and then potentially re-trigger the duty later. This does so much damage and controls the board. It's exactly what an aggro deck needs to be able to overcome the mid and late game of certain decks. So I really encourage you trying that out. Primaris Psyker, I go back and forth on should I play 2 of this card. I just didn't really find the room. Liked it as a 1 of. Sometimes it's great coming in as a shielded, flanking 5 ranged attack unit. Sometimes the duty actually has come up where I can shield. Honestly, a lot of times it feels like my Warlord when he gets low, and that's been kind of nice. Maybe I should be running 2, but 1 has felt good enough. 2 Chimeras. I just think this unit pulls its weight. It's also good with Vox, Operator, and it just synergizes well, obviously, with the infantry units, being able to plop it down and give 1 armor. I just think that Chimera generally pulls its weight in terms of value, so I've been really happy with that. Nork, of course, the biggest infantry of them all. Love this guy. Super happy to play him. And last but not least, Leman Russ Tank. Plays really well with being able to build a board out of nowhere. Allows you to be aggressive. Is a really beefy unit that's hard to deal with. And you'll see, I had cut the nuke from this deck. That was kind of the highest energy card. I just feel like, there's a little bit of a mind game here, right? Because everyone's assuming you have it in your deck, but I don't have to devote a slot to it. I guess the cat's out of the bag, if you will. But And the reason I think is that usually if you're going to have a board and you're dealing with theirs, like I just feel like if that card sits in my hand and I draw it early, I'm not running the 4-drop that can fetch stratagems out, because I just don't think that the build for us is about that. It's more about early game value and then sort of pushing your advantage into the mid game. So I just feel like this curve it's different than I think a lot of builds that I've seen, but I tend to prefer it because I feel like I can push my early game advantages much more. And you have to read your matchup, have to know what their tools are for interacting with you. But I still think that the deck actually can be pretty potent. Is it going to be Ursula Creed level? I just don't think so. I don't think it'll have that consistency. But can it get over a 50% win rate? I'm fairly certain it can. I was skeptical before, especially looking at that win rate from the patch, or not the patch, but the meta report. But I've actually really enjoyed playing this deck. So let's get me stop talking and let's go play some games. Okay. My cat, of course, needs to be here right now. Honey, can you? Thank you. Thank you. All right. Don't need Bombast, honestly, this early, but these are all fine. Got a nice little curve. Chaos is always tough. It's winnable, but we're going to have to, like, play pretty tight to not fall too far behind. They just have so many threats with dealing with wide boards, and that's usually the the Cadian strength here. Okay. So we could set up a timely into a Ratling. That's not bad. We're also not necessarily under pressure to do that, but I think from this standpoint, they could probably deal with some of this fairly easily. But I think you kind of just have to force their hand a little bit here, because I kind of want to make them start choosing between, like, trying to clear Ratling, trying to clear the Trooper. And I'm not attacking here because I am very far behind on health, obviously, starting this game. And we don't have to, like, use our face like that. I think that's one of the things I've felt better about in terms of my judgment calls for this game. All right, so we've obviously can play Trooper. We can play Ogryn as well. The benefit of Trooper and then flanking it in is that I can... Actually, it's kind of the same thing with Ogryn. The thing is, I can recharge this next turn if it lives. And then we potentially don't even have to hit this. Yeah, I'm just going to go for this. See what we can do in terms of damage here. Nice. We get the 1. That's kind of what I was hoping for. If I can actually just use the duty trigger to clear that. I still have to get by this. And then next turn we can drop the Bearer to put up another Vanguard unit. And just try and press our advantage. But, like, if they use Spawn him here, okay, they use it. There's not many ways of playing around things like that. But yeah, I think you generally want to be on the draw. Having timely reinforcements, I think, is just a big deal for a guard. Okay. It's going to be probably on... I actually don't know who they're choosing here. Yeah. Flamer, I think, is the better target. Okay. Another standard bearer. That's really nice. I'm not going to attack with Ratling on the Warlord. I really like to leave it out as a utility unit. And then, of course, we're just going to put out the standard bearer. And here I am going to hit. Starting to get, a little bit of a board going. So let's see what they do. I think next turn we've got some options. I'm going to go like Ogryn plus draw. But for instance, like if they play Warp Talon here, right, where they're like, I'm just going to not interact, then we can just Recon Op and kill it, which is really nice. Okay. All right, there's the Traitorous Hate. Let's see if they play anything else. Possess Marine. Yep. Makes sense. This Ratling's still sticking around, though. Kind of funny. And so I'm going to use him to clear here. Again, we have some choices. I think, trying to keep this Ratling healthy is not a bad option. But then the choice becomes, do I put the health here or here? I think it's probably going to be here. I could also draw 2 this turn. It's actually not a bad turn to do that. It's not like they have a ton of stealth units, so actually I'm going to do that. As I'm sort of saying it, it just feels like because we're not behind, let's take the opportunity to refill our hand a bit. And I don't think you want to play 2 recon in this. Like, I don't know that there's a ton of flexibility in this kind of list. That's pretty linear in its strategy. Okay, there's the Venom Crawler, but I think we're going to be alright. So, we can attack for 3, it deals 2, and then we ping. So it goes to 3 health. And then I think we can also flank in the Sentinel, which will die, though. We can also buff everyone's ranged attack if I play Standard Bearer and just trade my board with this. That feels like the best thing to do. Right, so I give you the health. Because I have to reload your duty ability. We're going to give you that. And then we're going to pump everyone's attack here. So 5, this will deal 4 plus another ping, and that'll clear. Yeah. And then I can... Oh, you know what? Man, if I had any other way to do it, but I don't. I just have to trade these. If I had a way to attack the Warlord, but I don't that turn because if I use the duty ability, it's not going to go off. I think there were other ways to clear there, but I don't know. That felt like kind of the easiest. It's nice that we didn't have to worry about the Venom Crawler. Like, we already had the board established to take it out. Okay, there's the Warp Town. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get rid of that. I mean, well, as I say that. So, we could just send all of our ranged attacks with our Leman Russ. The problem is, if this lives, then this is obviously going to get killed very easily. But we could also play Ratling and Kasrkin. Send all the attacks that face and hope the procs take that out. And kind of go from there. I think I like that better because I think this gives us a real shot at clearing this. And I think I'm going to give this the health so it can live through the attack. Yeah, so let's see where these pings go. We're going to get 2 pings per attack. So I think we need at least 1 to hit here off of Kasrkin. Oh boy. All right. Well, we're not gonna clear it, unfortunately. Didn't get enough juice here. Oh, Kasrkin only hit face. All right. Well, this could be a little rough, especially if they've spawned him. The next turn, I mean, yeah, we can try and rebuild our board from there. Yeah. So I think they just clear everything here and hit me for 6. Noise Marine. And Dark Orator. Alright, well. Now we are not winning this game, I would say. We do have the Flamer Trooper for next turn, but this is just a pretty brutal dismantling of our board. Oh. Get to trade 1 for 1 on all these Chaos Spawns. Left with 2 beefy Chaos Spawns, and then they can hit me for 8. Yeah. We're not able to clear this guy, so that's a massive problem, but we don't really have a choice here, so definitely just need to be able to use the duty. This is going to get bigger, which is not good. Yeah. I was really hoping we could kill that Warp Talon at the very least and maybe draw a card, but the RNG did not work in our favor. Just split 3 damage right on face and 3 on the other one. Oh boy. Yeah, second Venom Crawler. Could do a lot this turn. We do have Vox into Leman Russ at the very least next turn to take out Venom Crawler. If they don't buff it, which I'm sure is not likely. So maybe we can hang in there, but jeez, even bigger. So if they have Traitorous Hate, that doesn't work. So nice. Okay, thank the Chaos Gods we didn't take 10 to the face off that card. Okay, there's 8 health. So we can deal 6. Drops to 2. And then we can try and get... Okay. Yeah. 10 health. So we can deal 6, 7, 8, 9. So we just have to hope that Leman Russ procs hit. We need at least 1 to hit on here. I think we just have to go for it. I don't really think that there's a better play, to be frank. Get our big attack there. Deal the 3. Okay, nice. We do end up being able to clear it. That's pretty huge. We're going to take 6 here. Get to ping their face. Oh boy. Alright. Well, so see if the draws are in our favor. Okay, that's pretty good. Could take out the Leman Russ here. It's pretty close though. Vox Operator is a big problem. You don't want to see another tank hitting the board for value next turn. Yeah, okay. Alright. Okay. Alright, we've got stuff. So what do I need to do? So I can play the Psyker to get the free trade here. That's kind of like the first order of business. We can see where the ping goes. So the question is, how do I want to play out the rest of my hand? I can put more health on this, but it's not really going to matter for this trade. Or I just go for the win. Right? I think that makes sense. Yeah. I have to reload your duty. And then we're going to be able to play out other things, because why not? Play out the medic. And then let's just hope that these procs hit. Hit here. Haha! Gotcha. There we go. Very nice. Very scary game, but we actually dealt with 2 Venom Crawlers pretty handily. We'll take it. Not bad. All right, let's go again. Gonna have to cut this video a little short. I usually try to do sorry, my voice in the morning. 3 games, but I do have to get going soon. So let's just get one more in here, and then you guys let me know in the comments what you think of the deck and what you think of the build. All right, well, here's where we're not going to be the aggressor at all, and we're going to see how that goes for us. Scout Sentinel is nice because it has camo. And we can reduce, we can go like make standard bearer cost less, and then, yeah. Bombast I just don't want to see until I have Vox Operator in my hand. It's so bad when you play it out. Alright, cool. We're on the draw, which is good. But we're going to get smacked down, and we have to worry about Eldritch Storm. So this should be pretty tough for us, to be honest. Yep. Yeah, they're just going to do that whenever they can. Beat us down. There's the operator. Alright, so timely reinforcements is not going to do much from this exact standpoint because of the fact that they can clear 3 health units very easily. It does waste their turn, essentially, so there is a bit of value to that. I definitely want to play Vanquisher here. Okay, I was hoping to hit Standard Bearer, but... Well, now I can just play Ogryn instead. So I can just cheapen the Vox Operator for when we have a vehicle that comes down. Yeah, that's probably worthwhile. And then what am I doing from here? Do I time the reinforcement? I don't think so. They can develop, but I just don't think that does anything. I was really hoping we could reduce the Standard Bearer so we could get this out, but... I think instead we'll just play Ogryn next turn. And that this way, when we draw one of our impactful vehicles, Vox Operator will get its value. We can play it on 5 with Scout Sentinel, but that just doesn't really do anything. Okay. Yeah. That is annoying. Alright, just going to play out the Ogryn. And you know what? I think it's probably worth to just flank this in. Just to clear that out. Question is, do I play timely now? I think so, and that's just because even if they play like Banshee or something here, which will suck, next turn we can play Standard Bearer. If this isn't dead, we get to use the duty trigger at least. I'm thinking I would maybe save it for like the Leman Russ like turn before that, but okay, well. Alright, that's going to be annoying the rest of the game. But we'll do what we can, you know. Alright, so let's... Kasrkin's cool, but that's definitely not what we're going to do. We're definitely going to play one of our 4 drops. They don't have any stones. So they're going to have to sort of chip through this, but honestly, I think Scout Sentinel... I know, I can flank these in, though, if I want to next turn. Yeah, let's just do this. Do this. I still want to make them have to chip through these little troopers. And again, I'm not really going to attack until I feel like we're like fully in control. Because we're at such a health deficit. I honestly, like, I get they wanted to make another 30 health Warlord. I really think Denkler would not be broken if he was 35. But he might be noticeably better than other Warlords. Like, I think within Imperial Guard, he wouldn't be that broken. Maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Alright, so... I mean, we've got, like, a nice turn flanking in. But I think that's just better later. So, what can we do here? We can ping. Yeah, I think we're actually just going to play Kasrkin this turn. So if I attack... You know what? It's just better to attack here and use this ability, I think. I can give this 5 health, though. Yeah, so let's do that. We'll buff that. We'll give you enough health to live through this attack. See if... Through the ping. Okay. Of course not. I don't think I can afford to take the chance here, unfortunately. I'd love to shoot forward their face and ping to draw a card, but... I don't know. It's a little greedy to take that chance, I think. Alright, so no stones still. So that's good for us. Don't have to worry about Eldritch Storm. At least getting that bonus value. I think... I think I want to play Vox into Chimera. I think that's what I would prefer. Okay, this is... I'm okay with these these plays. Okay. Yeah, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'll play Scout Sentinel and Cadian Medic. Do I have to worry about the math at all here? What's the other option? Either way, I think I have to trade 3, 4, 5, and then hopefully get the pings. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're just gonna start with yeah. Okay, great. And I can keep the Kasrkin kind of going here. We're getting low. I have to be careful of those spells. And you know what? I'm going to send the attack here because we'll get a heal. And I think that's pretty nice. All right, nice. Double heal on our Warlord is sick there. And then we'll go Vox into Chimera. And then hopefully keep pushing from there. If Sentinel lives, then we'll draw cards. I love this card, by the way. I just love the art. I love these kind of warwalkery things. Okay. Rude. Alright. Yeah, I mean, I think... Okay. I was going to say, I don't even think we're going to pay attention to this, to be honest. Okay, well that's kind of nice, but yeah, I'm just gonna go. Well, we could also Russ, like literally just run out Russ, but I think that's worse than going wide here because one tick on Eldritch Storm should not do it. So. New orders in from command. Put these guys out. I'm just going to draw 2 here. Okay. Well, if our Vox Operator lives, then Bombast is going to be really nice. Now, what am I doing? I'm attacking for 3. Am I attacking their phase 2? I don't think so. And the reason being is that, like, we're actually ahead on cards. Obviously, the board is crazy, but, like, let's say they get, like, some dream board clear here. Then I don't want to die because I traded health when it didn't really matter. But this is much better. They're not really... They're able to clear these out, but, like, we have a full board now, and we're about to play Leman Russ. So, we can also just play Bombast. That's pretty safe, too. Go Bombast plus Ratling. Yeah. That's pretty reasonable, I think. But yeah, this is, I mean, it looks like they're doing more of the go tall thing, which is cool, but yeah, I think we're gonna do much better into that kind of thing. So yeah, we're just gonna... I should have maybe counted if I had close to lethal with Russ, but we're still gonna get, like, I think we might just have lethal here anyway, right? This is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we're picking this off anyway, which is why we're not worrying about attacking it. Yeah, so they're gonna go to 1. Alright, let's see what happens here. I don't think there's any way for us to get lethaled out. So yeah, I think in this game, so you obviously get to see the power of Vox Operator in the mid to late game, but also like even things like Scout Sentinel, you know? Like they didn't clear it out, we drew 2 cards off that, we drew 2 cards off of the Recon. Right, and so we're able to kind of like keep applying pressure, which is really nice. All right, folks, that's what I got for you today, aka Bad Deck Showcase. I do think you can tweak this in a lot of different ways, but if you like more of that aggro-y play style, even though obviously in that matchup we were playing more of like the control, we were not the beatdown in that matchup. I think that if you've got like roughly these pieces, I think this deck is pretty sick. I will say I've beaten quite a few Ursulas with this build because obviously they can have weird draws, they can have clunky draws, they can be a little bit more reactive at times unless you're playing more of like the infantry, like mid-range aggro build. And I do think that people just don't really expect like how even off one or two troops on the board and then you slam something with regiment, how far the game can swing in your favor. So yeah, I'm honestly really happy that I finally feel like I'm finding a Denkler build that feels competitive. And I'm sure there's more to explore here, but yeah, just happy to get a Denkler deck list. Say that 5 times fast on the channel, and I'm also going to be either crafting or hopefully pulling Leontis, the legendary warlord, as I wrap up the campaign for the guard here. So thanks so much for sticking with the channel. Thanks for showing your support, and looking forward to our really fun event for the 1,000 subscribers. So hopefully I will see you there very, very soon, and I'll catch you in the next one.